The cause and effect is like saying the thought and the condition. And I don't know about you, but I feel like I've gone through my life ducking and weaving to be like, oh, it's not my fault. This shit is happening in my life, but it's not my fault. It's this, it's that. But it's ultimately a vibe, an essence that we are putting out and that we continue to feed. Okay, it's not just the little one-offs, it's those things that really run through our energy. So to have an outer condition, I first must have an inner concept. How many of us think a thought of what we want, but then in my heart, I know that I'm actually fearful, doubtful, don't even believe I can have it. And my thought becomes more of a, I really want that because I really don't have it. It's very difficult to direct your thinking towards prosperity when everything is screaming at you that you're not prosperous. But we do have the power to do that. And we are asked to form a thought, a vision in our mind, and then go to the feeling of that repeatedly. And if we will do that long enough, I had a young woman ask, how can I stop the thoughts that I'm not worthy? I thought, isn't that the epidemic that we're living in? The thoughts hold us in a state matching the condition. We've got to tune our thoughts out of the negative and tune them into thoughts that line up with our desire. Even though you can't see it in the physical, you've got to do that. We must do that. That this is the law. It starts with our spirit. If I'm in a spirit of lack and fear, thinking thoughts of lack and fear, I am building into my life the embodiment of lack and fear. So the block in us receiving what we want comes through us, not through the power. The power is there, it's ready, it's all done. Being in fear, I'm asking for a delay in receiving the good. So no matter how much I study, this really made me sit and think. No matter how much I study, affirm, listen to lessons, involve myself in this material, if I'm to receive the good that is looking to express through me, I must make space for it and get rid of all the junk that's cluttering up the receiving channel and also the moving forward channel. I've got 3 definite steps. The first thing is to clear the clutter. If we're going to receive this beautiful gift, get rid of all the stuff that we don't want. What do you want? Put down everything that's not that. So clear out the clutter. The clutter can be small thoughts, those small repetitive thoughts that come every day. Just when you recognize that that's a really, and I'm going to use the word, shitty thought, I want to get rid of that. I don't want to think that again. So even as I'm speaking, if you know what it is, write it down, put it in a jar. Okay, you are going to separate these thoughts from you. That's what I like to do. You might find an envelope or something that works for you, but get those small thoughts. The fears, they're pretty easy to get a hold of. Got to be really honest with ourselves. What am I afraid of? The failures. How many times do you go back over what's happened? And then you think, oh, I didn't do so well there. The uncertainties. I'm not sure. Man, we can be sure. We've got a freaking desire that's so bold and so powerful. So when you have uncertain thoughts, write those down. Your doubts. What are you doubting? It'll scream at you when you write it on the page. Like things that have hurt us in the past, insults that have been thrown at you, criticisms that you've received, self-pity. That was big for me. Any opportunity for me to dive into that pit, and I was there. Self-condemnation, another big one. Remembered wrongs. Narrow visions. None of this matches our vision and actually our destiny of living abundantly and harmony and in joy and in peace. So note the ones as they come to you. Don't be so casual about them. Get them off you. Be done with them. They are persistent because you've welcomed them. We've welcomed them for years and made a home for them and almost a body for them. They're a part of us, but we no longer want to accept them. Now, as they come and knock on the door of your mind, there'll be a bit of a standoff initially, and you've got to be really strong. You're going to interrupt them as soon as they start. You're not going to let them finish. Interrupt, shut the door. No, thank you, not today. And at that point is when I write them down and put them in the jar. I'll tend to you later, but not now. And then when later comes, you just grab the whole jar of them and you put it in the bin or burn the contents. And that's symbolic, but it's very powerful. Put your vision and your energy onto the thoughts of your vision. The negative thoughts that come, of no importance. Treat those negative thoughts with indifference and unconcern and resolve to never think about them again. That's a big ask because we've been practicing thinking about them for a very long time. People say, oh, you can't just not think negative thoughts. You can't not notice them, but you don't have to think them. As soon as they come in, you interrupt it and just say, not today, thank you, and go about your business. So put down the practice of negative thinking and speaking. Don't listen to it. Change the subject. Out of our heart comes the circumstance of our life. And so everything we are repeatedly involved in is setting up our heart. That's what our heart is full of. Number one, we are going to refuse to entertain negative thoughts in all forms. So as soon as you're aware of, oh, that was a negative thought, write it down, put it in the jar. They can all cesspool in there together. And while we do that, we stay in a relaxed, calm state. Okay, we're not thinking about them. We're getting them on the paper and putting them in there. And then we are thinking about our vision and all the beauty and prosperity and abundance. That's the first thing. That's our thinking. The second thing is our speaking. Avoid speaking negatively. Be aware of the negativity that you speak, that you engage in with other people, that you agree with other people. One of our beautiful community last night said he's been in the practice of sending off scathing videos about others who've had things go wrong or they've done the wrong thing. And he said he used to really enjoy that. And he did it this week. And after he'd done it, he thought, I don't want to do that. So it's that sort of thing. We are changing inside and you're not going to be doing the same as you've always done. So avoid speaking negatively. Criticism, self-criticism is on the top of the list here. Speaking about lack, speaking about doubt, speaking about fear, speaking about discouragement. Discouragement is an interesting word. Courage is about being connected with our heartfelt desire. Discouragement is when we are disconnected from our heart and our heartfelt desire. So if you're feeling discouraged, get back in touch with the heartfelt desire that's in you. So that's the second one, speaking negatively. And the third one is fun. I want you to think, talk, act, feel as if you were the richest person in the world. So there you are, you're driving around and you're like, I am just loving my life. All of us can do that. Just for 1 week. Okay, so when the panic comes, it's no, but you've got to think about this, you've got to reconcile this, you've got to really dig deep into this fear and have a look at it. Think, no, not this week. I'm creating space this week. You can sit in a jar. Now, this might sound ridiculous, especially if you're in struggle street and you think, yeah, things are pretty dire. It might seem ridiculous, but think about this. How much are we really helping ourselves, even when we're in the dire situation, to think and meditate upon the dire situation? It never gets better. The only way to a solution, which, by the way, arrives as soon as we're aware of the problem, the solution is there. It's the complete opposite, and we've got to go there. And that's what we're doing here. So we're going to take a radical stand. We are done with sitting in the shit. We are going to get out of there. It's an invisible substance we're dealing with. And this invisible substance is waiting to take the shape of our thoughts. That's the truth. So give it the shape that you want it to take. It's 1 week. Under no circumstances permit yourself to think lack. Keep your mind in alignment with the life energy in you and tune out those lack thoughts, because the lack conditions will follow. As soon as the thoughts walk out the door, the conditions will be hot on their heels. We are going to entertain thoughts of all the things that we desire, and the conditions will be hot on the heels of those thoughts, because now there'll be space.